This episode of Destructoid is brought to you by GameFly. Coming up on Destructoid, Bethesda has dishonored us with their misleading teaser images. I want No Kuni so bad, and Halo 4 will feature the voice talents of Conan O'Brien? Destructoid, please tell me what the hell is going on right now?
Welcome to Destructoid. I'm Tara Long.
And I am Max Scoville.
Happy Wednesday, Max.
Happy Wednesday, Tara.
Oh, what a day. If you guys don't know,
day.
our producer is out of town today, so I'm acting producer for today's show. So hopefully those naked lady fire-breathing clown strippers I ordered should be on their way any moment.
I sure hope that that clears with financing, with getting that paid for. No.
As long as they don't know about it, it doesn't exist.
So last episode we got ridiculous amounts of views because we accidentally put Skyrim DLC in the name of the episode because of that mysterious image that Bethesda put up, and they were like, tomorrow, and then it turned out it was just Dishonored stuff. We're going to talk about that later.
Yep.
Because there's stuff to talk about.
That's going to be our big thing on today's show.
I drew a picture there and everything.
Oh, is there?
It's really not that great.
That's lovely. Okay.
But in the meantime, let's get into the hot news.
Right, I'm sure you guys, or anyone on the internet for that matter, has heard this information already, but in case you haven't, Halo 4 has been given a release date of November 6th. Microsoft announced that yesterday morning, and a couple hours later, the internet pretty much lost its shit after hearing that there would be some big Halo 4 announcement on last night's episode of Conan, interestingly enough. Well, as it turns out, the actual announcement wasn't all that exciting. Conan and his sidekick Andy Richter are going to have a couple small NPC roles near the end of Halo 4, which is pretty cool. But even if that news isn't exciting to you, I suggest you watch the video anyway, because it's actually pretty funny. He pays a visit to the 343 Studios office to talk to the game's executive producer, Kiki Wolfkill.
Dear God, that's a name.
I know. And the franchise director, Frank O'Connor, and then he gives some wardrobe suggestions for his character, mainly a suit. And then he does some rather sprightly voice acting with Andy. Unfortunately, they don't really show off much new footage, but hey, Conan and Andy in your Xbox, November 6th. Have I ever mentioned that Max and I are like the Conan and Andy of gaming?
Have I ever mentioned that November 6th is the day after my birthday?
Really?
Yeah.
That's less exciting.
No one's gonna care because Halo comes out the next day.
Yeah, also, you know, V for Vendetta and stuff.
Yeah.
That thing.
So anyway, one of the biggest pieces of video game business news in the last year was THQ's massive loss on the U-Draw tablet and subsequent layoffs and restructuring. Their next big release is Darksiders 2. And apparently a lot is riding on this Vigil Games sequel. With that in mind, one can't help but cringe at today's announcement that Darksiders 2 is being pushed back from its June 26th release date to sometime in August. However, THQ has stated that this delay is not related to layoffs or budget cuts or the game's Wii U launch release. The delay is just for the sake of quality assurance and polish, and that no content from the game is being cut. I went hands-on with this game a while back, big Darksiders 2 event. They had a big skull mask, and I thought it showed a lot of promise, but portions of the game were like stupidly frustrating, and I was not the only one who shared this sentiment. Several other journalists in attendance were actually cursing at the game and begrudgingly accepting help from the devs, mostly due to difficulty and tricky controls. Actually, in an unprecedented move, I even watched Destructoid's Hamza Aziz pick up the strategy guide to figure out a section of the level, and he's a serious gamer, so that was embarrassing. That being said, though, hopefully this additional 2 months will give Vigil the time to tweak some more of the more frustrating elements of the game. And if you're looking forward to the game and haven't already, you should go check out the interview I did with Vigil's Dave Adams. So there's that.
Darksiders.
Darksiders 2.
Usually they don't wait until a couple months before release to announce that something's... Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, it's a couple months before June. God, time flies, doesn't it?
Oh, don't tell me that.
Speaking of time, it's been almost a week since we found out that Dark Souls would be coming to PC, and now we've got some more tantalizing details to comb through. First up, the good news. There will be some additional story content, most of which revolves around the Dark Knight Artorias, who should be already somewhat familiar to players. More specifically, you're going to have access to 3 new areas and 4 new bosses, as well as some new NPCs, new equipment, and a bonus PvP stage.
Ooh la la.
Now the bad news. Games for Windows Live. That's it. That's the bad news. Apparently the decision to use that was made by Namco Bandai, since they've already got a server up and running for the 360 version of Dark Souls. When asked if there would be any chance of that changing before the game releases, a Namco Bandai rep said, quote, "The partnership is still ongoing, so we might have another announcement regarding publishing." Meanwhile, the game's producer is saying that specs and distribution details won't be announced until later in the year, though he did confirm that the PC version will have roughly the same graphics as the PS3 version, and he also added that there are no current plans for mod support.
Rats.
Yep, sad news. But, you know, either way, it launches on August 24th for Europe and North America. They said that they should be getting a Japanese release date very soon, though. But yeah, same graphics. That's interesting.
You're gonna die.
Yeah.
You're gonna die.
I'm guessing if they amped them up, it'd take a whole lot more in development time.
Yeah. It's a bummer about no modding stuff, though, because that would be pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll add support for that eventually, just not at launch.
Or the hackers will.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of exciting things and anticipation and Japanese things, one of my most anticipated games of 2012 was No Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch, and it still would be if it hadn't been pushed back to a Q1 2013 release. This, of course, is the game that's being co-developed by Studio Ghibli, which means it is a video game that looks like a Miyazaki film. In other words, I'm absolutely dying to play it, and reading Dale North's recent preview over on Destructoid just made things worse. I honestly don't know a whole lot about this game simply because I don't really want to spoil it for myself, and usually I get distracted by looking at the beautiful pictures in the trailers and just like, oh,
it's so
touching
magical
my face.
and whimsical.
It's Japanese anime-looking thing, and even Tara
I
likes.
know,
That's
even
incredible.
I'm excited.
But yeah, so actually I read a bit of Dale's preview, and he explained some of the plot. The hero of Ni no Kuni is a boy named Oliver, and while crying over his mother's recent death, one of Oliver's tears lands on a doll that his mother had made him, and the doll comes to life and proceeds to lead Oliver through a parallel world in hopes of bringing his mother back to life. You know, it sounds like a total fairy tale, which is okay.
I'm gonna cry.
You're gonna
I
cry.
should already brace myself.
Yeah. It's gonna be so heart-wrenching. In his preview, Dale explored the town of Ding Dong Dell, which we've already seen some gameplay of, and you know, as you'd expect, Dale praised the visuals, but he also raved about Joe Hisaishi's gorgeous orchestrated score. Joe Hisaishi, of course, is the famous Japanese composer famous for his work in Miyazaki movies, which you need to start watching.
I know.
Dale described a scene in which a town called Hamelin, in which it was inhabited by pig people, and in this pig town, just bear with me, there was a fully animated cutscene of Oliver's party watching a pig parade of the royal pig family.
Oh my god, that sounds
pig
so
people
cute.
everywhere. And during the pig parade, some Sari guard pigs came out, and they had like metal pig face masks on their faces,
scary.
and they got mad at Oliver for making eye contact with the royal pig family. And then get this, there was a fight with a giant robot pig tank.
Wow.
Oh, I
Can't
want
make
this
that
game.
up.
Oh, it's going to be so good. Anyway, the battle system sounds interesting, and Dale said it was obviously rooted in turn-based combat, but during the battles, Oliver sort of runs around in this circular battle area and orders his party members or familiars to attack, and then, you know, he avoids attacks himself while the familiar does battle. Dale said the combat was pretty simple, and it might bore some people who are used to more complex JRPGs, but there was definitely enough going on to keep players busy. Level 5, the guys who were making Ni no Kuni alongside Studio Ghibli, and who I'm less of a fanboy for because they never invented a cat bus, they said they're hard at work doing a proper localization for the game, and that they have over 1 million words of dialogue to translate and dub in and so forth. Dale said that the voice work sounded solid, and that's great, but I really hope I'll be able to play it with Japanese audio and subs on because I'm a weeaboo. Anyway, go check out Dale's full preview of Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch on Destructoid.com, along with a big pile of other Namco Bandai stuff, including a great video about Dragon Ball Z Connect featuring Kamehameha Aziz. Tara, let's take a word from our sponsor.
Let's do that. GameFly is the largest online video game rental service, offering a choice from over 7,000 new and classic titles across all consoles and handhelds. With plans starting at $15.95 a month, GameFly members can rent 1 to 4 games at a time and keep them for as long as they like. No late fees, no due dates, and perpetually free shipping. It's like Christmas without all the drunken yelling. Okay, maybe a little drunken yelling, depending on the game. Once you're done playing a game, just send it back and GameFly will send you the next available one on your list. If you really, really like the game you're playing, just click Keep It on the GameFly website and the game is all yours at a discounted price. GameFly will even mail you the case and manuals free of charge. Better yet, Destructoid fans get a 15-day free trial when they go to gamefly.com/Destructoid and sign up.
Go do that.
Back to the show. So, if there's anything that my almost 2 years of being in the biz has taught me, it's that including the word Skyrim in the title of your episode is enough to make any YouTuber jizz their pants. Which is why I am sad to inform you that the teaser image Bethesda released on Monday was not in fact related to Skyrim. As it turns out, the teaser image was for their upcoming game Dishonored, which just got a nearly 5-minute debut trailer that you have to go watch right now because it's awesome. Now, I've been reading some comments on the internet. You know, they have those now, Max.
Don't do that, Tara.
And it seems like a lot of people are kind of likening this to a mashup between Assassin's Creed and BioShock, which kind of seems like a fair assessment considering it's being developed by Arcane Studios, who helped out with some of the design work on BioShock 2. But as for the actual gameplay, it looks like something more akin to the Thief series, which shouldn't, again, come as a huge surprise either, since Arcane is bringing on Harvey Smith for the project, who is previously known for his work on Deus Ex franchise and Thief Deadly Shadows.
Whoa now, Tara. This trailer was no gameplay. This was all CG.
That's true. But
we've seen some screenshots though.
You've seen gameplay though.
I can't really talk about that. That's actually embargoed until next week.
All right.
But I mean, it's the one of the guys working on it is the design for the first level of Half-Life 2.
Yeah.
It's got this. And this is stuff that you could guess by screenshots and everything. It's got this weird kind of sort of otherworldly look. Like it doesn't quite look like London or traditional steampunk stuff, which is neat. But
it's just steampunk inspired.
Yeah.
And according to the Bethesda, the story revolves around Corvo, who's the guy from the teaser image. Apparently, he's a supernatural assassin and former bodyguard of the Empress, who later gets murdered, and he gets framed for her murder. And after that, he escapes prison to find a world struck by plague and ruled by this crazy, oppressive government with all these weird, futuristic technologies.
oh boy, a Bethesda game that starts in jail.
Interestingly, I thought it was strange how they just now released a trailer for it, yet Game Informer had like a 10-page preview back in July of last year, I think.
No.
And they talked a lot about things that most people haven't even seen yet, like the combat system. Apparently there's like a big emphasis on gadgets, I'm told, and you know, obviously you get some supernatural powers.
That was a cover story for Game Informer ages ago. That was what, like last summer? Like,
yeah, last summer.
Okay, that's ridiculous. That's why I'm so mad at this image, and they say tomorrow. It's like, of course we thought it was going to be Skyrim DLC. It's something we would be like excited about.
Yeah.
We've already seen screenshots that are actually like indicative of what the game is like, and then they show this scruffy looking man, and we're expected to be all excited. But they've already revealed it. Like this, it's doing it backwards, you know.
Well, you've seen the game. What do you think about it?
I can't say anything about it.
I mean, what
It's top
you
secret.
can talk about your feelings.
I'm really excited about it. I think it looks really cool. I thought that when it first showed up in Game Informer, I think it's got a lot of potential.
Yeah, they were saying.
I think they're promoting it like shit. I think they're doing a terrible roundabout way, and it's the boy who cried wolf, but it's a
little bit disappointing to release a teaser image and have everyone assume that it's Skyrim Game of the Year for 2011 and have it be a completely new game, and then everybody's kind of let down. But from what I'm told, it actually does bring a whole lot new to the table. They've got a flexible combat system that apparently they were saying in the Game Informer article, it's the first assassination-based game that actually lets you make choices that affect the outcome of the game.
Ooh.
Whereas Assassin's Creed, you know, you can choose to kill somebody or choose to not kill somebody, but it doesn't really affect the storyline. Apparently that is not the case with this one, and you can actually go through the entire game and beat it and not kill anyone, or use only non-lethal methods, even on bosses, which I thought was really interesting.
I'm gonna shoot everybody.
But yeah, I'm really excited to see more information on this game, definitely.
Oh boy, Dishonored. I'm so excited. No, it's gonna be cool. I'm excited about it. We'll talk more about that next week when I'm allowed to, but I did an interview with some of the dudes who are doing it, but yeah, that's about all the time we have for today. How do we do? Did we mess up at all? Our producer Zach is gone, and he really, I hope we didn't ruin everything. And hey, speaking of Zach, you guys should go check out his review of the recently released free-to-play Tribes Ascend, which apparently is super duper good and has jetpacks in it. That's over on our Rev3 Games channel. I also put up my impressions/review of The Witcher 2 Super Male Enhanced Booby Edition. And while you're there, you should check out some of the excerpts from our 2-hour Trials Evolution stream that we did.
That was so fun.
That was really fun. We just we've got a Twitch TV channel up now. That's twitch.tv/Rev3Games. We've got clips of the Limbo level, the Mindbender level, and a few more on the way. You should go subscribe to that channel. It's again twitch.tv/Rev3Games, and you know I think we've got the whole 2 streams we've done archived on
also,
there.
the game is out on Xbox Live right now.
Yeah.
So go buy it.
That's what I have. Hold on. I want to wave this around.
Oh dear.
Everybody! Trials Evolution. That's a flag.
Woo!
It's a giant flag for Trials Evolution.
Awesome.
I'm gonna build a tent out of this.
We're gonna
Guess
probably
who's sleeping
give that
under
away.
a sheet tonight?
Max is gonna
Me.
rub himself in that, and then we'll give it away on a future live show. So until then, please go follow us on Twitter, because I'm asking really nicely, please. You can follow the show at Detoid Show, or us personally if you want. He is Max Scoville. I am Tara Longest, and I'm leaving you guys.
Baby, no.
Not for good.
Baby,
it's
please
okay.
don't go.
Just for a few days. I'm gonna be out on Friday and this coming Monday
Oh, girl, I miss you
at
already.
Coachella. That's right, going to Coachella. I will be burning myself to a crisp in more ways than one. So Anthony is gonna be filling in for me on the live show on Friday. Just disregard what I said. That is at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. The address is youtube.com/detoid. You guys are gonna have a nice little boys club.
Oh God, we're gonna get in so much trouble.
Be nice to Anthony, guys. I know he really likes wearing plaid and stuff, but he's really self-conscious about that gigantic mole. So, you know, just go easy on him,
Yeah,
okay?
he's got that weird ear thing.
Oh, that too. What a disgusting human. Great guy, though.
All right,
See you guys on Friday.
We'll see you guys on Friday.